It is game day, and you are watching the Kentucky Pregame Show. It's your boy C Dub in here, and I am joined by none other than Ike Jones, who is out there covering the game. Bring you in here, Ike. How you doing, good sir? How's things down in the plains, the loveliest village on the plains?
It's all right, man. The crowd is starting to fill in a little bit. It's not uh, the Arkansas game level of depressing out here. Still some
Okay.
time left in this game, so already more people in this crowd than were in that Arkansas game. The totality, the team is out here warming up right now, looking all right.
Real quick, before we get into some of the stats going into this matchup, um, Cam Coleman, who was listed as probable. I think Malcolm Simmons was listed as probable. You have seen them warming up, and they look pretty good, right?
Yeah, both of them are moving around pretty well out here during warm up, so I don't expect either to be held out during the game. We'll see how that progresses, and as it starts to be actual people getting hit out there. But so far, so good. Both shown good.
Uh, Again, Auburn is set to face Kentucky in about 30 minutes in Jordan Hare Stadium. Auburn is a 10.5 point favorite in this game. The over and under is 44.5. What are your thoughts about this game? I didn't get a chance to catch all of the midweek report with you and Mike were discussing this, but just your overall thoughts about what you expect to see in this game against Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still going to be a game about whether or not the offense has the ability to move the ball, and the defense just needs to continue doing what they're doing. I think the defense is fired up to go out there and get stops. And it's going to be really about how well this pass defense, in my opinion, performs versus Cutter Boley, who has come on and he's been throwing the ball well these last few games versus some pretty decent defenses in Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia. He's thrown the ball well. So Auburn needs to really put the pressure on and force the young freshman to make some mistakes.
Yeah. And you're kind of low. You sound like you're a little bit low in the mic, by the way, Ike. So, um, you did mention Cutter Boley, who is 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions on the season, 1,200 yards through the air. But to your point, Kentucky has picked up, like, their identity seems to be more pass oriented than Kentucky teams we've seen in the past. And so with a freshman who I mentioned his stats, but he's been pretty impressive as of late for a freshman. And at
Yeah.
this point in the season, you're more of a vet than you are a freshman at this point. He's played a lot of games, and so I think the game is beginning to slow down for him. What type of concerns do you have for Auburn's defense? This is one of Auburn's weaknesses. If you had to point out a weakness in this defense, has been they've allowed some yards in the passing game. What do you expect Auburn to do in this game to actually kind of neutralize them and minimize Kentucky's passing attack?
I think they're just going to give him a bunch of different looks and try to force him into making decisions quickly. I think they're going to heat him up quite a bit today. Some simulated pressure, some where they look like they're bringing pressure and dropping folks. I think they're just going to bring a bunch of different looks and see if the freshmen can diagnose what's going on out there and figure out how to find the holes in whatever zone that they're playing, switch up place of man. It's going to be about never keeping the picture consistent for him and changing up what he thinks he's seeing.
Yeah. Uh, One of the big storylines in this game, obviously there's a switch at QB. Ashton Daniels will make the start tonight for Auburn. What do you expect to see in terms of how this coaching staff handles him and manages him? There's been a big concern about how this coaching staff has managed starting QBs. Ashton Daniels will be the fourth starting QB under Hugh Freeze. And your expectations in terms of what the game plan is or how they plan to attack Kentucky with a new starting quarterback.
We talked about this a little bit in before we got on. Kentucky's got a couple of starting defensive backs that are going to be out for this game. And I think that Auburn may try to challenge those defensive backs on the outside a little bit with some of the quick game stuff and making those guys have to tackle in space. But outside of that, for Ashton Daniels, I think it's really going to have to be about an effective run game because he is an effective runner, and make Kentucky play the single high safety looks that force Auburn into trying to figure something else out. If they go too high, then Auburn is just going to continue to run the football, I think, with Ashton Daniels today.
Definitely, definitely. I expect a heavy dose of Cobb in this game. I think they'll pick up where they left off with him. I hope to see a little bit more of Omar Mapson.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll see more of him tonight?
I do. I think that the thing with Omar Mabson is still going to be the pass pro stuff, whether or not he's able to pick that stuff up. And it just depends on kind of what the down and distance situations are and the totality of like how many carries it is that Cobb ends up getting. I do think Mabson has an opportunity to go out there and get some reps today, though.
Indeed, indeed. Interested to hear what some of you guys have to say. We got some comments and Ike, if you see some in here, feel free to flag some of these comments. I'm gonna get to some of the first ones here. Let's see here. Mr. Beautiful says, watch the Cobb show tonight. 180 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. Pretty. That's a pretty impressive outing for Cobb.
I can say this right now: if this is true, Auburn wins this game easily.
Very easily. Very easily. Let's see here. I got Mike Hicks. Appreciate you being here with us, man. He says Sling TV has a day pass for $4.99. That's for our YouTube TV people who are Disneyless, needless to say, as a result of the YouTube's inability to reach an agreement with Disney Plus, who's on a lot of people's hate list right now. But it is what it is. So please feel free to share some of what you guys are doing in the chat there. Ike, also real quick, man. The over and under on this game is, I think they had it at 44.5. What are you taking on that, sir?
I don't know, man. Let me think about that for a second, because listen, I think that this Kentucky, the question is how many points is Auburn going to score, honestly, because I think the Auburn defense is going to hold Kentucky under their typical 21, right? 24 points.
Right.
Can the Auburn offense score 20 some? If they do, then you got to take the over. But yeah, I'd take the over just because I need Auburn to score points in this game. So
I know. I'm gonna probably take the under.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
It's another one of those lower scoring games. Even if Auburn wins by even 2 scores, like I just don't know if we're going to see a lot of offense between these two teams, especially with one of these teams having a really elite defense in Auburn's. I definitely think that hurts Kentucky, especially with a freshman QB on the road. In a night game, I just don't see a lot of it unless Auburn's offense just explodes tonight. Which, to your point, I would be here for that. I would love to see that. Better late than never. But I just don't see them. I'm going to take the under on that one.
They're announcing starting lineups right now. I'm anxious to see what happens here as they get to the skill positions. Offensive line is being announced right now. So,
okay.
Left guard, Dylan Wade. So nothing unusual there. Here we go. Left tackle. Of course, Xavier Chaplin. All right. Here we go. I don't mean to keep y'all in suspense here. Tight end, Brandon Frazier. Nothing unusual there. Wide receiver, Malcolm Simmons announced there. So he was one of the guys who was listed as probable. He is listed in the starting lineup, at least on the graphics there. Perry Thompson, the next receiver being announced there. That's interesting. So maybe Cam Coleman isn't starting the game. Eric Singleton, next receiver announced on the big board. I'm sure running back will be next, Jeremiah Cobb. Oh, no, Cam Coleman next. Okay.
Interesting.
Big eruption from the crowd there. Jeremiah Cobb announced at running back.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Let's see what the crowd does when they announce number 12, quarterback Ashton Daniels.
Oh yeah,
big eruption from the crowd.
I can hear that. So Ashton Daniels is the confirmed starter, much to the pleasure of Auburn fans that are present. Are they filling in a lot more, Ike?
Yeah, it definitely has started to fill in quite a bit now. There's still some empty seats in a couple of sections, more up towards the top, but for the most part, yeah, this is started to fill out quite a bit here.
I'll get to some more comments here. JJ Brand says Ashton gets that ball out quicker and is more accurate. That's worth at least another TD. Let me ask you this question, Ike. I was thinking about this today. You've seen Peyton Thorne, you've seen Hank Brown, and now Jackson Arnold. Now we're here with Ashton Daniels. Obviously, we've seen guys look good when there wasn't a lot of pressure on them and there wasn't much of the offense to digest, right? Hank Brown looked completely different in the bowl game against Maryland up in Nashville several years back. And now when you're the guy having to process the entirety of the offense and the game is still in doubt, these QBs have looked different. Ashton Daniels has played a lot of ball at the P4 level. He has a lot of experience. So a lot of the experience he brings with him. If you're this coaching staff, what do you do in terms of your identity, in terms of how you just plan to attack offenses? Obviously, there's a certain type of system that Hugh Freeze wants to implement. But do you try to make it easier on your QB to give him a quicker read? Because what we've seen is that with all of the decisions that the QB has to make in a game, his decision making is either slow or it's just wrong in the most inopportune times. So if you're Hugh Freeze, one of the things we hate to hear is him, dialing back the offense a bit. But how do you balance making it an easy offense for the QB to make quick reads while not being predictable offensively? Like, where's the balance there if you're Hugh Freeze in this offensive staff? You're muted, by the way. I can't hear you.
Yeah, I did mute myself. Sorry. I think for Auburn, it's really in this game going to be just about keeping him comfortable and not turning the ball over, right? So if it's quick reads, then it's quick reads. I think he's willing to take the deep shot a little bit, and so that's going to be beneficial for them. But for me, it's going to be about do what you did early in the season, which is take what the defense gives you. You do want to dictate to the defense a little bit, but listen, you have a good enough defense to just take what they give you, 3 yards here, 4 yards here. And if it's 2 yards on the next one and you have to punt, so be it. But let's not have a situation where you're doing too much or trying to do too much because you're getting out of character for what you need to do. Keep it comfortable, keep it loose, give him some early stuff really quickly to get the ball out, get him in the groove, and then let him loose.
Yeah. Get you some more of your comments here. Let's see. Cleveland Brown says, if I didn't have Sunday Ticket, I would cut YouTube TV now. So a lot of people aren't happy with YouTube TV over the contract dispute with Disney. 22 Busy says, I have YouTube TV, and the only thing I watch is college football on Saturday. It is already too expensive. I may have watched my last game. Jerry Stone says Ashton has better pocket awareness and rolls out under pressure, keeping the play alive. Arnold locks up under pressure and takes sacks. Thoughts on that, Ike? You did a film review this week, did you?
I did. I think definitely, he is more prone to just get out of there when he senses the pressure, as opposed to being a little bit too relaxed, keeping the play alive. Definitely. I wouldn't say, I don't know what it is about Ashton Daniels, Jackson Arnold, when it comes to just not sensing the pressure at all in most instances. But Ashton definitely has a better clock when it comes to that sort of thing.
Christopher Pape says, really hoping we finally finish a game and are talking about how great the offense looked. I would like to talk about how great the offense looked as well. Realistically, Ike, we would love to see it, but you're expecting Auburn. Are you expecting Auburn to break the 30-point mark? Realistically, what are you expecting for them?
I don't know what to expect, man. I'm done having expectations of this offense, honestly. I just expect them to get enough points to win.
Just get out there with a dub and call it a day?
Yeah, I just win, man. Just win this daggone football game and get to the next week at this point in time.
Christopher, I would love to see it, my dude.
I need to see a full game of Ashton Daniels before I have some real expectations of what the offense can be.
Yeah, I know people I think a lot of people are hopeful for Ashton Daniels, Ike. I don't know, man. I've seen QBs regress under this coaching staff at Auburn. Um, I know, I know Peyton Thorne. People riled him when he was here at Auburn. Had an amazing. He actually was fairly decent when he was at Michigan State. Had that really amazing year that one year. Came to Auburn and he regressed. Ike. Jackson Arnold was a bit more of a project when he came to Auburn, but he looks no different than when he did not develop being under this offense this year, and that's disappointing. And so with Ashton Daniels, can they not mess this up? I think that's the thing I want to know is don't mess this up with Ashton Daniels. Allow him to be able to the same experienced QB. He needs to play like he's an experienced guy who has been playing college ball a while. Make the game easy for him, and like you said, man, just take what the defense gives you and get out of there with a win.
That's all I want to see, man.
AU alum 94 tonight will tell if Daniels is the best option. He's got the legs of Jay Arnold and has experience, just needs to see him protect the ball and how he throws. I'm curious to see what he looks like in the passing attack as well. And you've already talked, Ike, about what are some things you would like to see, and you can kind of reiterate that for those who are just jumping on. But I believe Kentucky have some guys out in the secondary. And if you're Hugh Freeze's staff, if you're scouting that, there should be some opportunities to the outside with some of Auburn's receivers.
Yeah, but and listen, just because that's the thing doesn't mean that you just have to force it there. But you should, I think, scheme some opportunities to try to get your receivers in space and see if these guys who haven't played a lot can tackle in space. Right, like just go and just try it out and see. Right, like I want to see some of that outside stack with Eric Singleton or Malcolm Simmons. You throw the little quick route over there, have Perry Thompson go block for him, and see if they can make the guy miss and get up the sideline. Right, I want to see some of the quick routes against some of this off coverage. I want to see them, try and see if they're going to throw over the top. If Cam Coleman's not 100%, Perry Thompson needs to be the guy that steps up and does that stuff. Test these DBs in one-on-one situations, especially if Kentucky is going to load the box against the run or they feel comfortable trying to stop your run. You need to get your one-on-one assignments done out there.
Definitely. NH3425, appreciate the super chat, says this should be on paper a 38-10 score in favor of Auburn. If that happens against Kentucky in an SEC game, don't care that they're bad. Point being, win the game the way you should. 38-10. War Eagle. NH3425 is taking the over on this. He expects Auburn to have a breakout game offensively. Would love to see it here. Ike, what is your expectation in terms of what DJ Durkin is going to do defensively? Again, I was very impressed with how they looked against Arkansas and how, for the most part, they adjusted and neutralized a very potent Arkansas attack. What do you expect to see more in this game in terms of a game plan against a true freshman and Cutter Boley, who is coming on strong?
Yeah, like I said, I think they're just going to switch it up a lot, make him figure it out. Boley he seems to be an intelligent quarterback and he's got a good arm, but they need to just try to give him different pressure and exotic looks. Have him seeing ghosts out there. Like, oh, I thought this was this and it's actually this. And, oh, I thought this was, they're rolling into this coverage and, same stuff that they did last week, right? Like you have them thinking you're doing one thing and you're doing something completely different. And they're throwing into what they anticipate being a window. That window's getting taken away.
Indeed. Did you guys give a score?
I didn't give a score. I have no idea how to predict this offense. So,
but you are predicting an Auburn victory.
They better.
Yeah, and I guess that's something we can talk about, Ike. Coaching for his job, I am in agreement that Hugh Freeze is definitely coaching for in a sense to where Hugh Freeze, if you're going to lose again, you can't lose this one. This can't be one of the games you lose. Auburn is on track to finish 6-6, right? They have a chance to pull up an upset against Vandy, who did fall. Impressive comeback, by the way, against Texas on the road. But they have an opportunity to pull up in an upset and beat Vanderbilt on the road. You have a chance against Bama at home, but you're going to be likely underdogs in both of those games. I think that if you're Auburn, this is one of those games you have to win. You have to win, because if you believe that 2 games have been taken from you in terms of the officiating, you're looking at 6-6 a lot differently in light of what happened against Oklahoma and Georgia. Now, obviously debatable how you felt about what happened against Georgia because of what the offense did in the second half, but neither here nor there. That's what's believed, that by those who are the decision makers, that 2 games have been taken from Auburn. So finishing 6-6, you feel like it's more 8-4. If Auburn truly is an 8-4 team, maybe those people feel differently about that. Who knows? But your thoughts about, again, you already said he has to win this game. I agree, because you can't even use those excuses if you lose to Kentucky.
Right. Yeah. I mean, listen, you got to win this game, point blank, period. Like, just no ifs, ands, or buts. Go find. Again, that's why I don't care what the final score is. Win the game.
Yeah. I agree with you. And I'm with you. I'm hoping that we're talking about an Auburn win in this game. And again, if no other reason, Ike, for the players, man. Like the players did not come to Auburn to get beat in Jordan Hare against Kentucky. So you want to be able to put those guys in position offensively to be able to show what they can do, make plays in space, and hopefully put up points. But we will definitely see. Guys, drop your scores in the chat. I want to hear from you. Does Auburn pull off a win tonight? We definitely want to hear from you there. Also, just some quick things. Ike, you're going to be here for the halftime, right?
That's my plan.
All right. Ike is expected to be here. I'm definitely going to be here for the halftime. It's going to be behind the wall. So green name gang, get your green names and join us there. I would like, usually I can watch the game from my laptop here, but YouTube is playing around. So I will leave it open for the chat after the halftime show. I would love to watch the game with you guys and just kind of let you know what I'm seeing. We can all just chop it up, but maybe some other time. But guys, we're going to get out of here. I see some of you guys dropping the score. A lot of people believing AU is going to pull it off. Some people have AU pulling it off big. So I hope you are right. But just to let you know, we will definitely be here for the halftime show. If you don't have a green name, we will meet you for the post-game reaction show. But until then, we're going to drop off early and let you guys get prepared for the upcoming game. Enjoy the first half. And green name, we will see you at halftime. This is the pregame show. War Eagle.
War Eagle.